Hey YouTubers, SteelHide here with SteelHide Gaming, and if you're new to Paragon, this video is for you. We're going to be covering the basics of Paragon. Most MOBAs use an item system, but in Paragon you have cards and decks instead of items and builds. You can customize your decks by unlocking new cards and configuring them any way you like. But don't worry about building a deck while learning, but instead use the pre-built decks that come with each hero. This will allow you to get an idea of how the hero is supposed to work. The next thing is hero roles. In the world of Paragon, you have roughly 6 hero roles. A hero role is the play style that best suits your hero. Some heroes can only perform certain roles well. These roles are support, assassin, carry, ganker, initiator, tank, and semi-carry. The support role focuses everything he does to benefit the team, such as warding, shielding, and healing. The support should not get any kills, but instead should do their best to give kills to other players. The assassin is a hero that has abilities that allow him to quickly kill unsuspecting heroes all across the map. The carry has the job of advancing his hero's strength as quickly as possible and constantly farming, killing, and ultimately becoming the primary damage dealer by the end of the game. The ganker is a hero that has huge crowd control abilities, allowing them to assist other heroes in scoring kills in all stages of the game. The initiator and tank are usually one and the same and come supplied with abilities that allow them to put the enemy in dangerous positions and soak up damage while the rest of the team stays out of harm's way and positions themselves for the kill. Last is the semi-carry. The semi-carry is a hero that has a strong presence early and mid-game, but tends to not be able to keep up in damage late game. This role is important though, as the team can greatly benefit from the early kills, while your carry can focus on his farm. Late game, the semi-carry will fall into a more supportive role. The next thing is player positions. Your position is where you start in the game, and this should be the position you maintain throughout the early game. The positions you will be learning while playing Paragon are laner, solo and dual laner, jungler, and roamer. The laning players stay in the lane to gain XP and CP until it's time to leave the lane and start ganking. XP is used to gain levels in Paragon, while CP or card points are used to purchase cards which act as items to make your hero stronger. Typically on an organized team, a single player would be designated as jungler. This is a more advanced role that should be played by particular heroes such as Chimera, Fang Mao, or Rampage. The job of the jungler is to clear out the white, red, and blue minion camps that spawn all over the map. Killing these camps is how the player in this position gains their XP and CP. The roamer is a less common position and is most efficiently played by 2-player teams. These 2 players will roam around the map looking for single targets and gain their CP and XP by killing the lonely and weak. This is a more advanced tactic that is high risk, high reward. If the players fail to make their kills or get themselves killed instead, it can tip the game in their opponent's favor. The next thing is phases. Every MOBA has phases which progress as the players grow stronger. The first phase is the laning phase. In this phase, the jungler starts farming creep camps and the other players split up among the 3 lanes: blue lane, mid lane, and red lane. After the players have gained their first 5 or 6 levels and they have a few early game items, it's time to start the ganking phase. An organized team will set out together in 2 to 5 man packs during this part of the game and start ganking lanes, the jungle, and players that are left alone. It's very important to have good wards down during this part of the game so you can see your enemy's movement around the map. After getting a few kills and becoming stronger than your opponent, it's time to start the pushing phase. The pushing phase should at least be started by the time your team reaches 35 card points. In the pushing phase, you and your team can do one of 2 things: group up in a single lane, collectively destroying towers one by one, or split up and push multiple lanes at once. This is a good idea to have at least one person on your team pushing any lane that is not occupied by an enemy hero, while the rest of your team heavily focuses on a single lane. Similar to phases, the game also has natural stages. These stages are the start of the game, early game, mid game, and late game. In every deck you build, you want starting cards. These are 1 to 3 cards that you purchase using your starting CP. These cards should be simple and help you either stay in lane or stay in the jungle longer. With the first 3 to 9 points you earn, you will purchase your early game cards. If you're a carry, these items should support your damage. If you're a support, it will usually be a utility item that benefits your team. As a caster, you may get cooldown reduction or increased mana, and as a tank, you will focus on your health and defense first. Support and caster heroes should also pick up wards and keys at this point in the game. When you have a few items completed and are able to enter the ganking phase that we covered earlier, you have now entered the mid game and should be finishing up your early game cards. This stage in the game is used to gain CP to fuel your late game, get kills, and demoralize your enemy. Once you have the majority of your build complete, you should have around 45 CP and will be going headfirst into the late game. Late game is where carries get close to hitting their 60 CP cap and are brutally slaughtering their foes. This is also the point in the game where you have gained enough damage to rapidly push lanes and towers, allowing an organized team with good plan to quickly end the game. During the late game, the players will start to focus their attention on a massive minion in the middle of the map called the Orb Prime. When killed, the Orb Prime will drastically shift the power in favor of one of the teams. The last thing we're going to cover in this video is buffs. There are 4 buffs in Paragon. These are the blue buff, red buff, black buff, and the Orb Prime. The blue buff gives increased mana regen and cooldown reduction. The red buff gives damage increase and movement speed buff. And the black buff gives increased damage to structures. The Orb Prime is a special buff that can only be killed later in the game when your team is strong enough to take it down. And this buff provides extra health to your minions and your choice of extra damage or health. That's all we're going to cover in this video. It's been quick and packed with information, so look forward to my breakdown videos in the future. Thank you for watching today's video, and if you liked it, please subscribe and don't forget to hit that like button. And also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. And look forward to a more detailed series of videos on the things that we covered in this one. This has been the basics of Paragon, and see you next time.